going to talk a little bit today about my book, Humans in Outer Space for Non-Speaking and Nonverbal Students. This is 192 pages, 38 lessons for students 8 years and up, mostly for teens and adults, but I put 8 years old because there's a number that 8-year-olds would enjoy. The lessons are about 4 pages long. There are some that are like 3, some that are 6 pages, but the majority about 4 pages long. I've been working on it for about a year, researching it, delivering different lessons to my students. Most of my students have found it very engaging, so I hope that your children will too. So the lessons cover all sorts of topics, such as it's not about the sun and the solar system and black holes and stars. It's about humans discovering things in space. The things that led up Galileo and his discoveries about space, and Nicholas Copernicus. Then things like the first person that went into space, first person to land on the moon, and the missions and discoveries both from the Soviet Union and the United States, and then now internationally of people going to outer space. Things that we've researched like cancer in outer space. We've learned things about that because of the research we've been able to do in space. How liquids behave in space, going to the bathroom, exercising, sleeping, washing your hair in space, and GPS, who was Edwin Hubble, and that telescope that we have up there. So hopefully a lot of engaging lessons that your child will enjoy or your students will enjoy. And at the very back, I have had some students that after lesson, I had them write their own stories or poetry. So a few of those that are in there that were inspired by some of the lessons in this book. And then at the end of each lesson, there are references to what I researched. So this right here be the references and resources. That'd be books I read, videos I watched. On my website, go to heedrpm.com, click on RPM lesson plans, and then this book. There are some PDFs that have one of the table of content, the other one has the references, all of them there. The idea being that when you're doing a lesson, there are a few that ask you for a little short video clip or pictures. You can just go and click on the links to the references there, and so it'll be a lot easier to type in the URL in for you, so you can kind of research or read up on it yourself, so you can also adapt it to your child or student. So I hope you'll have some fun with this. It is adapted so that beginners can use it. Like I'll have 2 choices. But it's with the idea, I do remind you at the beginning of the lesson that if your student can already spell out open-ended thought, can handwrite and type for you, whatever modality they're using at the present moment to communicate thoughts, that you can just modify it. You don't always have to give the choices. They could write their answer in a sentence, that you could have more discussion expanded beyond what I have here. This is just adapted so that those who are beginning can also access the lessons. So I do remind you throughout the lesson at points to adapt for those students, but there are times when you could also adapt that I don't remind you. So keep that in mind as you go forward with these, and I hope that you will enjoy them. They're available on Amazon.com along with all the other books that I've written for lesson plans. If you want to understand how to do RPM, you want to look at Soma's books. That's the methodology and how it's all done, the reasoning behind it. I do list that in the annotated bibliography at the very end of the book. There's a list of that as well if you want links to those books. But these are just lesson plans. So